I just watched someone lose $47,000 on a camper van they owned for 2 years, bought it new, couldn't sell it when life changed. Here's what they bought wrong. Look, if you're considering dropping anywhere from $80,000 to $200,000 on a camper van in 2026, you need to understand something critical. The math has completely changed in the last 18 months. Depreciation curves have shifted, insurance costs have spiked in ways most dealers won't tell you about, and there's a specific type of van that's quietly holding value while others are hemorrhaging equity. I'm going to show you exactly which camper vans are actually defensible purchases right now, which ones are financial traps, and the one factor that determines whether you'll break even or lose the price of a new car. Section 1. The brutal reality of 2026 depreciation. First, let's kill the fantasy. Camper vans aren't investments. They're depreciating assets. But here's where it gets interesting. A new Mercedes Sprinter-based Class B like the Winnebago Revel or Storyteller Overland loses roughly 20 to 25% the moment you drive off the lot. That's $35,000 to $50,000 vaporized in one afternoon. But a 2-year-old used model? You're looking at someone else who already ate that loss. Here's the part nobody talks about. Certain vans are now depreciating slower than they did pre-2023. Why? Because new van chassis availability, especially Sprinters and Transits, has been inconsistent, and build times are still running 8 to 16 months. From the dealers I've spoken to, that supply constraint is propping up used prices in today's market. But there's a catch, and it's massive. Section 2. The insurance and maintenance bomb. Insurance companies have fundamentally repriced campervan risk. In 2024-2025, comprehensive coverage jumped 30 to 60% depending on your state. We're talking $3,500 to $6,000 annually for full-time coverage on a $150,000 rig as of 2026. That's double what it was in 2021. Why? Theft, total loss claims from electrical fires, and the fact that these rigs are complex enough that even minor accidents result in $20,000 plus repair bills. And here's what shocked me when tracking actual owner expenses. Maintenance on a diesel Sprinter-based van averages $4,000 to $6,000 per year if you're actually using it hard or full-time. That's oil changes, DEF system repairs, brake replacements, and the electrical gremlins that come with 12-volt systems crammed into a metal box bouncing down the highway. Ford Transit gas models? Slightly better, averaging $2,800 to $4,200 annually for serious users. But you're still looking at real money, and finding techs who understand both the chassis and the camper systems is like finding a unicorn who does taxes. So before you even think about your monthly payment, you need to budget $600 to $900 per month just for insurance and maintenance. Most people miss this completely. Section 3. The controversial truth. Who actually wins? Here's where I'm going to lose some people, but it needs to be said. If you're planning to use a camper van fewer than 60 nights per year, you're almost certainly better off renting. The math is punishing. At $200 to $350 per night for rentals, you'd spend $12,000 to $21,000 annually. Sounds expensive, right? But total ownership costs, depreciation, insurance, maintenance, storage, registration, run $25,000 to $40,000 per year on a $150,000 van, even if you barely use it. Depreciation doesn't care if the van sits in your driveway. The people who win are the ones using their vans 100+ nights per year and who buy used and who can do basic maintenance themselves. That's the trifecta. Here's the surprising part. Well-executed budget-build DIY vans on Ram ProMaster chassis are outperforming luxury Class Bs right now. Why? Lower entry cost, $60,000 to $90,000 fully built, simpler systems, cheaper repairs, and here's the kicker, they depreciate to a floor and then stabilize because the DIY market always needs affordable platforms. I'm talking about professional or carefully planned builds here, not rushed Instagram conversions with poor electrical or moisture management. A 3-year-old quality ProMaster conversion maybe loses another 10 to 15% over the next 3 years. A 3-year-old $180,000 Airstream Interstate still dropping like a stone, down another 20 to 25%. If this already feels expensive, that's the point. Keep watching, because this part is where people either save $30,000 or light it on fire. Section 4. The Smart Buyer's Framework. So, here's exactly how to think about this capital decision. Buy new if you're retired, you'll use it 120 plus days per year, you plan to keep it 7 to 10 years, and you value warranty coverage and exactly the layout you want. You're essentially prepaying for convenience and peace of mind. The depreciation hit is the cost of that luxury. Buy used 2 to 3 years old if you want 80% of the van for 60% of the price, you're handy enough to troubleshoot issues, and you're willing to compromise slightly on layout. This is the value zone. Let someone else absorb the catastrophic first-owner depreciation. Buy budget/DIY if you're more physically capable, you'll actually use it hard, you're not trying to impress anyone, and you understand that simplicity is reliability. A well-built ProMaster with a diesel heater, solar, and a basic kitchen will serve you better than a $160,000 storyteller that spends half its life in the shop. Avoid completely if you're buying for the gram, you think it'll hold value, you can't afford to lose $30,000 and shrug, or if you're not absolutely certain you'll actually use it consistently. Section 5. The 2026 Specific Factors. 3 things are different in 2026 that you need to know. First, electrical system quality has become critical. Poorly integrated lithium systems from early conversions, especially 2020 to 2022 builds with inadequate battery management or thermal controls, have caused real problems. If you're buying used, confirm the system was professionally installed with quality components like Battleborn, Relion, or Victron with proper BMS. Check the installation date and ask for documentation. Second, campground availability has gotten worse, not better. The explosion of RV ownership during 2020 to 2022 hasn't reversed. Popular spots still book out months in advance. Your $150,000 van is competing for spots with $40,000 travel trailers, and they don't care what you paid. And third, and this is critical, resale demand is bifurcating. High-end luxury vans are sitting on dealer lots for 90 to 180 days. Budget and mid-range used vans, under $100,000, moving in 30 days or less. The market is telling you something. Here's what most people forget. Every dollar you lose on the wrong van is a dollar you don't get to spend actually traveling. That $47,000 loss I mentioned at the start, that's 2 years of campground fees, fuel, and experiences gone before the trip even started. The final verdict. So, are camper vans a smart financial decision in 2026? Not as assets, but they can be smart lifestyle decisions for the right person. If you're retired or location independent, if you'll genuinely use it 100 plus days per year, if you buy used or budget conscious, and if you think of it as a tool for living rather than something that appreciates, then yes, it can absolutely be worth it. The people who regret it are the ones who bought too much van, used it too little, and didn't account for the true cost structure. Here's what I want to know. If you're seriously considering buying in 2026, what scares you most? Depreciation, ongoing maintenance costs, or not using it enough to justify the expense? Which one scares you most? Drop a comment, because the answer might be different than you think. And if you found this useful, you know what to do.